This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, the borough of Weatherly is the place to be this weekend. We'll tell you why next, or you can guess from that video. Hi again, everyone. This is FYI News 13 on SSPTV. I'm Ken Kara. Thanks for hanging out. Here's your headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. An investigation is underway into missing funds within the Klein Township Municipal Authority. According to our media partner, the Standard Speaker, Schuylkill County District Attorney Christine Holman sent a letter to the authority stating that the investigation will continue based on the audit performed by the accounting firm of Patton and Lettich of Pottsville. It showed a shortage of more than $309,000. The Hazleton Area School District has a new superintendent. Dr. Charles Butler, the former assistant superintendent, was unanimously appointed last night. His first priority, dealing with the budget and filling a $10 million gap.
We're trying to be sensitive, obviously, to the taxpayers and the community at large. In addition to that, obviously improving student achievement. We're looking at supporting the teachers with curriculum, resources, professional development, building leadership capacity among the administrative staff, and doing the very best job we can to get better in the classroom for our students, offering them the best quality education possible. And lastly, increased communication. I'd like to put in place board newsletters, parent newsletters, meet with parents once a month, and just be very open, transparent about what's happening in the district. Use input from all sources for us to get better, continue to seek continuous improvement, and work for the betterment of our students in the district.
Today is Dr. Butler's first official day on the job. The borough of Weatherly is gearing up for an exciting weekend. Lisa Sugart has the details.
Well, this is a really big weekend for the borough of Weatherly. It is the annual Hill Climb Weekend, and here to tell us all about it, we have Weatherly Mayor Tom Connors and also Joe Seibert, who is the president of the Hill Climb Association and also a member of Weatherly Borough Council. Mayor, I'm going to start with you. Why is this so important for your community?
Oh, this is a great event coming up. It helps all our nonprofits. They sell food. It's a fantastic race. If you've never seen it, it's amazing how it works. And we get drivers from all across the country come to our town, and it makes the whole weekend really special.
Well, I know I've grown up with this as a child and have loved going to it over the years. Joe, how does it all kick off?
Well, you figure Friday night we have the parade at 7 p.m. The drivers that are able to put their cars in do so. And I encourage all our sponsors to participate, either put a personal vehicle in or a company vehicle. And then with the help of the mayor, we have a beautiful weekend set up yard sale wise. We have probably 50, 60 people are going to participate in that. And then we have racing boat days from 9 to 4. And then since the town's so nice and they let us make all this noise, on Saturday night we're going to have fireworks for everybody at dusk. So that should be really nice. And the mayor has a little something special set up when we're done racing Saturday around 4 or so. We're going to have a canine dog walk up the hill, and that's going to benefit the canine club.
Wow, a lot of wonderful things taking place. So this is the first ever time that you're doing it, and you, as the head of the Carbon County Animal Shelter, you have a soft spot for all the animals. So this is great that this is happening.
I do, and in our community, a group of good people came together. They started the Weatherly Canine Club. Their goal is to teach people how to be responsible pet owners and also put in a dog park in town. So we're excited about that. The walk itself is up the famous Hill Climb Hill, and it's a $5 registration. Dogs need to be on leashes, up to date on shots. People can register the day of the race or the walk from after 4 o'clock on Saturday or by 4 o'clock. So we're excited. It's something new that we're adding. We're happy with yard sales. That's growing more and more each year. Our local businesses have maps of all the houses that are having yard sales, so that's a good thing. Like Joe said, we kick off the weekend with the parade, which is getting bigger and better every year. So we're excited. The fireworks, the whole town comes together. The town looks good, and we welcome people to come in and see what it's all about, because it's a great family weekend for everybody.
And another family event we don't want to forget, the circus.
The circus is in town Friday night, and our local businesses have tickets for sale at a discount ahead of time, and then you can also purchase tickets Friday night. So there's 2 shows on Friday. It's at Urena Park, and you can also stop by early in the day and watch them put up the big tent. That's exciting. A lot of kids get a kick out of that. They see the animals and the tent going up, and that's gonna that actually benefits the festival that we're gonna have in August. So it's a good night out between the circus, the fireworks, the yard sales, the dog walk, the race itself. I mean, I don't know what else we could fit in, but if we have time, we'll work on it for next year. But it's going to be a great weekend. Weatherly always welcomes people to come in and enjoy our community, so we're looking forward to people coming down and joining us.
All right, you heard all the information. Weatherly is the place to be this weekend. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Lisa. On Friday, Joe Seibert and I will sit down and we'll talk racing, at least that aspect of the Weatherly Hill Climb. Well, later on this edition of FYI, we check out PPW's brand new wrestling ring that arrived in time for their show this weekend. And up next, Janine Mazurkevich gives us details on the Run for Cherubs. Find out what it's all about after this break.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Time now for our weekly segment, Care for Kids. Tonight we have information on an event to benefit Brandon's Forever Home, a nonprofit organization established to raise adoption and foster care awareness. The Brandon's Forever Home Chefs Academy will host its monthly chef class on Saturday, June 20th at 2 p.m. The cost is just $15 for adults and $10 for children under the age of 12. And you're invited to join the Brandon's Forever Home Book Club. The first book is by a survivor of the foster care system, Three Little Wards, and that is by Ashley M. Rhodes Corder. The book club will meet July 2nd at 7 p.m. at Brandon's Forever Home, 187 North Church Street in Hazleton. For more information, check out Brandon's Forever Home on Facebook, or you can log on to brandonsforeverhome.com, or you can call 570-926-5117. And moving on now, we get ready to take a look at the Run for Cherubs. Here's Janine Mazurkevich.
All right, this summer there are many benefits going on. One that is close and dear to my heart deals with one of my friends, Angela Terse, and that is the Run for Cherubs, right? Yes. And this run is happening at Eagle Rock Resort on June 20th, but there is a special reason why you're having this event. So tell us about it.
That's right. My sister had a daughter, my niece, named Ariana, with CDH, congenital diaphragmatic hernia. She was born at the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. She had a very high percentage rate of survival, and unfortunately, after 59 days of really fighting, she fought for her life, she was taken by the Lord, and it's been a little bit of a struggle for my sister, for our family, and what better way to celebrate her life than to get everybody together and bring awareness to this birth defect.
Okay, the birth defect, CDH, what is that?
Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is a hole that forms in the diaphragm within the first trimester usually. The organs come up into the chest cavity, compromising lung development, and most babies are born with softball-sized lungs, and unfortunately these babies are usually born with 1 or 2 penny-sized lungs.
So when you were going through this process, painful for when you actually are pregnant and going through the steps and her going through this whole process, your sister eventually did have another baby, a healthy baby boy.
She did. She did. She has a baby boy, Ian. He is 15 months now, and he did not have CDH. He's healthy, very active.
And your sister has taken, and your family is taking a very positive attitude towards a hurtful situation that has happened with your family, and you really have brought light to this birth defect and how common it is and how people can really find support.
Yes.
And that's why you were doing this run, which is really getting a lot of people and a lot of interest out there.
I hope so. One of our main goals is to not only honor Ariana, but to bring awareness, because it is a very common birth defect. 1,600 babies have it every year.
Okay. How could people find support? Are there support groups?
Yes. All of the money donated from Race for CDH is going to cherubs-cdh.org. This is the nonprofit organization that supports families, awareness, and they have forums, and they're great. They're great. They offer support for survivors and those who pass away.
All right. So we are having this event at Eagle Rock Resort. Give us the who, what, when, and where.
Okay, so Saturday, June 20th, Eagle Rock Resort. You can register at race4cdh.com. For any other information that you need, you can also email race4cdh@gmail.com, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Yes. There is a 5K, a 10K, a 5K walk, and also a kids run.
Yes.
And the kids are getting something special.
Yes, they are. Should we tell them?
Well, we'll wait till the day of the race, and then we'll show them afterwards. But it's really special. It's not just a T-shirt. It's something special that has to do with CDH, and it really symbolizes what this is about. So thank you and your family and your sister, who I know is watching this online, for doing this event and spreading awareness for CDH.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, and that's us here on FYI.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Now, this weather shot looks just like one of the opening shots of Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, but I assure you this is FYI, and as much as I wish it were true, I am not Captain Kirk. I'm the guy about to read our weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 57 degrees, much better than last night. Here's our extended forecast. Wednesday looks sunny with a high near 81 degrees, and Wednesday night partly cloudy with a low around 63 for Hazleton Area High School graduation. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, 40% chance mainly after 2 p.m. Mostly sunny day with a high near 85. Thursday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m. 30% chance, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. Friday, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high near 85 degrees on a partly sunny day. Friday night, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. It'll be mostly cloudy, and our low will be 67 degrees. For our Saturday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms once again, a little bit higher this time, 50% chance, partly sunny day with a high of 78, and Saturday night mostly cloudy with a low of 60 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. Treat yourself today.
All right, we are at Hickory Run State Park, and we have a 4-part series for you. Join us here on FYI. We're going to talk about poison ivy and safety outside when we go outdoors this summer. So John is here with us, and thanks for having us.
Thanks. Glad to be here today to talk about poison ivy.
Okay, you don't hear that a lot. So when we talk about poison ivy, there are people outside. They're going to be doing yard work and mowing the lawn and spending some time, hopefully, at our beautiful state parks across Pennsylvania. So let's hear about how to detect poison ivy and so on and so forth.
Yeah, approximately 85% of people will develop a rash if they contact poison ivy. So you really don't want to touch any part of the plant, because even the roots have the sap, and as well as the stems and leaves. So the best way is avoid it entirely and be able to identify it. I have a couple pictures here of the poison ivy. The saying that you'll remember is leaves of 3, let them be, and I think most people are aware of that. Poison ivy is actually a compound leaf, and the 2 lower leaves attach almost right to the stem, and then the upper leaf has a longer stalk to it. There's a lot of different ways to keep in mind about the poison ivy, and one thing is there's a lot of variation. So you might have smooth leaves on the outside edge, or they might be jaggedy like these ones here that I'm showing. They can be dull or shiny. So you have to be aware of all the variations to the plant itself.
Where do you specifically find poison ivy?
poison ivy likes an amount of sun. It'll persist in the understory of the forest, but it really likes to have sunny or disturbed areas in which to grow. That's where you'll find most of it. So along like the sides of streams, along the sides of lakes, and places like that.
If you do come in contact with poison ivy, how do you take care of it?
If you know you've been in contact with poison ivy, the best thing is to try to wash it off, because it is an oil that will get on your skin, and you want to try to wash that off right away and get with lots of soap. And then some people have even tried using rubbing alcohol to break down that oil, and then that'll help prevent you from getting it.
And quickly, you have the process of how poison ivy actually comes about. So you want to show us that photo as well?
Yeah, so we have, there are different life stages to the poison ivy. You'll see the leaves come out in the early spring, along with some flowers, April through May. The berries won't develop till the fall, and they're a whitish gray berry. And the vines are another way to help identify poison ivy, because they're really hairy. So if you see a hairy vine, leave that alone. You don't want to touch that. So be aware of it, all the different forms when you're out there.
All right, so leaves of 3, let them be.
Let them be.
All right, let them be. We're talking about poison ivy. Thanks, John, for filling us in, keeping you safe throughout the summertime here at the Hickory Run State Park. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Janine. You're going to need an ocean of calamine lotion. Lots of rhyming with poison ivy. Here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. Pick 2, 1, 6, pick 3, 909, pick 4, 5830, and pick 5, 45275. We're talking wrestling, Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling after this break, and your winning lottery numbers on FYI, brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency with 2 locations to serve you. One is on Sugarloaf Avenue in Cunningham, the other on Broad Street in Nescapec. Call them in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapec at 570-752-7683. We'll be right back.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
This weekend is Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling's next show called Code Red. The group got a special delivery just in time for the big event on Saturday at Holy Family Academy on Laurel Street. You know, after you buy a new bookshelf or entertainment center, you rip open the box, take a few glances at the directions, toss them aside, and then start building. Well, apparently you do the same thing when you get a brand new wrestling ring. You laughed and said it came with directions. I was seriously looking for the directions.
No, it did.
Yeah,
it did, yeah.
So you guys don't need the directions then.
What's that? No, we don't need the directions, no.
Because you do this, I mean, talk, in a usual week, when are you guys usually here? Wednesday night you come down to set up? Or?
We usually set up a couple days before the show. Shows are once a month on a Saturday night. Holy Family has been more than gracious to give us the gym. And like I said, it's an awesome experience here.
Was this like Christmas, getting to come down here and see the new ring today?
Oh, it was awesome. I couldn't sleep.
Paul Bonomo, the ring announcer and more for Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling, has good reason to be excited. Like many wrestling fans, he grew up without an actual ring. I used to wrestle with my cousins on my couch. You have a whole ring to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, me and my brothers at my mom's house, it was called the Bonomo Civic Center. We had a wrestling ring in the backyard after an old grapevine. And I used to beat up my brother Jeff and Chris, and then Jude was too small to get up. But we used to have wrestling matches in our backyard, because wrestling when we were small was on Saturday mornings at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. You never saw any of the big stars. It was always, you know, Joe Schmo used to get squashed by Hulk Hogan. So we used to go in the backyard and emulate it. You know, do not try this at home, but we didn't listen. We did it in the backyard. But it was a lot of fun growing up. And like I said, now, just to say, now we have our own ring for PPW. So I know my kids like to go in there and bounce around. I'm too old for that now.
The Bonomo Civic Center sounds pretty legendary, but I don't think Paul will mind if I rank St. Joseph's Gymnasium just above it.
I mean, people know St. Joe's Gymnasium from years ago, back in the 80s when WWE used to come here. I know you probably went here when you were small. I actually did too. I was a little older, but I did go there. My brothers and my dad took us here. Big John Studd, Hulk Hogan was here. All the big names were here, and it kind of has the nostalgia, the feel of, you know, St. Joe's. We say that all the time on our TV show, you know, the friendly confines of St. Joe's Gymnasium with such a rich history in professional wrestling.
A new chapter of that rich history will be written on Saturday night at 7 p.m. when wrestling stars Magnus and Mickie James pay a visit for PPW's Code Red. Here's what happens when some big-time names drop by the independent scene.
Most of the guys are really down to earth. They've been here. A lot of them have started on the indie scene, and they've worked their way up, and they got to the main roster. But, AJ Styles comes to my mind. Such a down-to-earth guy. Sitting here like you and I are talking, Kenny, he is just, we talked about baseball, we talked about football, we talked about everything but wrestling. One of the nicest guys you want to meet. Ted DiBiase did some work for us. He went over to Brandon's Forever Home, met the kids. Couldn't be happier. He tweeted it, sent pictures out and stuff like that. 90% of the guys you meet, total class acts.
Bonomo is still a wrestling fan and he watches WWE, but now he has a new perspective on things.
It's great to see what goes on behind the scenes, because a lot of people growing up as a wrestling fan, you never saw what went on behind the scenes. Now I know what goes on before a show. It's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work, and it is entertainment. A lot of people, they compare it to like a play. It is. You're watching it unfold in front of you, and that's what we want. We want it to be entertaining to everyone. And with PPW, there's no cursing. There's no anything inappropriate. It's for a family. You can bring your family here and not have to block a kid's ears. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we're shooting for, and that's the kind of goal we have.
You can check out the new ring and wrestling stars, Magnus and Mickey James, at PPW's Code Red this Saturday at 7 p.m. You can buy tickets for Code Red at the door or online at ppwwrestling.com. Bonomo told me it takes about 2 hours to get the ring up. Well, PPW has found a home at Holy Family Academy, and they are happy to be in the area. In fact, they help raise money for Brandon's Forever Home, Helping Hands, and Holy Family Academy. And they're looking forward to doing more work for the community. Now it's time for the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, they lost to Durham. Russ Kanzler went 0 for 4 in the game with 2 strikeouts. The Rail Riders had their game with the Buffalo Bison suspended in the 5th inning due to fog. They'll finish that game and play their regularly scheduled game tonight. And in case you missed it, the U.S. women's national team vaulted to the top of Group D at the Women's World Cup with a win over Australia. Happy Wing Night! It's Wing Night at Bottlenecks. Get $2 off your order of wings or all-you-can-eat wings and boneless wings for only $14.95. Bottlenecks wings are voted best wings in the area year after year.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Beaver Meadows will be holding a Christmas in July craft fair on Sunday, July 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The church is located on 2nd Street in Beaver Meadows. Food and beverages will also be available. For more information, just call 570-956-1228. Our next announcement, the Hazleton Area PTA Council is inviting all PTA volunteers and supporters to a potluck celebration in honor of all the hard work of the past year. It will be held Friday, June 12th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Hazel Township Early Learning Center. The event will also feature several information sessions, including fundraising tips and more. For more information, just contact hazeltonptacouncil.org. And finally, Horses and Horizons Therapeutic Learning Center Incorporated is looking for volunteers to help with its special program of therapeutic horseback riding for children and adults with special needs. There will be a volunteer training session on Saturday, June 13th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the center. Anyone wishing to volunteer must attend. For more information, just call 570-325-3566. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. David R. Silberg of Hazleton. Interment will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at the Beth Israel Cemetery. The Firo Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. And Edward Richard Lapinkus Jr. of Hazel Township. Services are Wednesday at 4 p.m. at the Turnbach Funeral Home.
Thank you for watching FYI. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Take it easy, everyone.